playing at the University of Alabama for one of the top recruiters in the country. How do you begin to kind of narrow the gap there between maybe the upper echelon teams in the West and Mississippi State on a recruiting trail?
You know, the biggest thing, you just kind of focus on what you've got and what resources you have, and just try to elevate them as much as you can. And you know, and I think we're making progress. You try to make it as fast as you can. You know, in the last 2 years, it's become a more volatile kind of recruiting situation, and the dust hasn't settled on it. So, you know, you try to guide through that, you know.
Mike, there's obviously a lot of talk about, you know, how good Alabama under Nick Saban has been, you know, coming off losses. Obviously earlier this year you guys were pretty good when you came off that LSU loss. I guess what goes into maybe establishing that mindset of not letting one loss kind of trickle down into 2 or 3 in a row there?
Just sticking together and working hard, and if everybody's really committed to what they're doing, I mean, you know, they just get right back at it and, you know, just try to work through it. But by the same token, you know, you have to commit to it too, you know.
You mentioned watching some of the Alabama-Tennessee film. I know Josh Heupel played quarterback under you at Oklahoma. I don't know how much of that you've watched, but how much does his offense resemble yours, and what kind of concepts is he taking from that?
He's definitely got some things that look familiar, you know. There's some things that look familiar, and I can think of a play in particular, you know, that we ran back in the day, and that we ran back in the day, and you know, he's got his quarterback running that play better than he ran it, so yeah.
Kind of to follow up on that, I mean, guys like Josh and Sonny Dykes obviously having a lot of success at TCU. What's it like for you, kind of, you know, having the experience that you have watching, you know, the guys you coached or have played for you or coached with you, kind of, you know, start this coaching tree that you have?
You know, it's tough while you're coaching because you're busy tending to your own team, you know, and you just kind of hear about it secondhand, or, you know, quickly see a score or something. I mean, I'm happy for them and all that, as far as, you know, to really enjoy it, to recollect, exchange ideas, stuff like that. I mean, you know, heck, you kind of got to be out of it to do that. Otherwise, you're too busy with what you're doing yourself, you know.
I know Alabama has a Heisman Trophy winner quarterback. It looks like that number 1 running back. It looks like he makes their offense good. What are your impressions of him and what he's done?
No, I think he's really good. I think, you know, that's the thing. That's the thing. If you can't, they keep you kind of thinned out from because you're trying to tend to both of them, you know, and then, you know, as they do that, then, you know, you can't just focus on one thing, and then you're vulnerable to both a little bit, you know.
I know some coaches might mention a losing streak that their school might have against an opponent as motivation. Is that something you will talk about this week?
No. I mean, all that counts is what you do today, and then what you do next. You know, I mean, you have any control over that. That doesn't affect anything.
You had some, I think it was Jet last year who said that, you know, he felt like as Alabama kind of built that lead, that helmet sticker of seeing Alabama on the other side, maybe, you know, impose some will on your guys. I guess, do you kind of have the hope that, you know, with some more experienced guys, they're not really fazed by, you know, it being Alabama on the other side?
If they're sitting there looking at that and paying attention to that, they're looking at the wrong thing. They need to be looking at themselves and how well they're playing, competing with themselves and playing the best that they can play. You know, I mean, they can control the guy in their uniform. They can't control the guy in the other uniform. They got to focus on themselves.